Good evening. Scotland paid tribute today as the funeral of the Duke of Edinburgh took place at St George's Chapel in Windsor. A gun salute at Edinburgh Castle marked the beginning and end of a minute of national reflection and remembrance as the country fell silent. Pupils at Prince Philip's former school paid their respects and a wreath-laying ceremony was held at sea. Brandon Cook reports.
As the sun shone, a country mourned. On the most sombre of days, the Duke made his short, final journey. His hearse, a specially made Land Rover, led his children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren to the chapel. Inside, COVID restrictions meant the Queen stood alone as she said goodbye to her husband of 73 years. And in the city from which he bore his title, a gun salute marking the beginning of a national pause for reflection. Along the Moray Firth, a coastline where the Prince developed his love for the sea, a lone piper played on the shore, while young sailors paid their respects. At Gordonston, the boarding school where the Duke spent his formative years, pupils bowed their heads in silence.
Very much a day and indeed a week of mixed emotions, I would say. Tremendous sadness at the news of his passing, but in a sense, pride and maybe even joy at everything he gave to Gordonston.
In Aberdeen, veterans bid farewell with a guard of honour by a mural in the sand.
I think we are praising a hero because he's been some man in his life, and he's a veteran's man. I'm so proud that we've done this.
A lone piper from the Highlanders 4 Scots Regiment played as the Duke's coffin lowered into the royal vault, a fitting nod to the Prince's love of Royal Deeside and Scotland.
The biggest honour of my military career, especially with myself sort of being brought up around the Royals, living in the village of Braemar, not far from Balmoral Castle, and I've seen the Royals come into the village throughout the years before I even joined the army.
The Queen once described her husband as her strength and stay. Today, a final farewell in a ceremony remembering a life marked by service and duty.
Well, the legacy of Prince Philip will live on through the scheme he lent his name to. The Duke of Edinburgh Awards have seen thousands of young people bond over outdoor experiences. With more, here's Felicity Clifford.
For many, the Duke of Edinburgh Award is about the great outdoors. For Jamie, it was a life-changing experience.
The Duke of Edinburgh helped me not just become a man, but not to become a statistic.
He spent much of his life in foster care. When he was 14, he was offered the chance to take part in the Duke of Edinburgh Awards.
I was very isolated, I was bullied a lot as a young person. Not because of who I was, but because of what I was. I was the care kid. People didn't understand it. And the Duke of Edinburgh took me away from that world and placed me into a world where there was no judgment, there was no prejudice, there was just adventure, the outdoors, new experiences of a lifetime. So it absolutely saved me.
It's given him experiences he never thought he'd have, including sailing from Norway to Scotland.
And sailed it back the Norwegian coast for 14 days, seeing orcas in their natural habitat, seeing the North Sea, things that you would never ever think in your lifetime that would be in your view. But it was because the Duke of Edinburgh absolutely made that possible.
It was me, got everything packed and ready to go.
Kaylee has completed her Silver Award where she achieved many firsts. She's now working her way towards her gold and says it's helped her achieve more than she imagined.
I never thought Duke of Edinburgh was something I would be able to do, and it's shown me that anything is possible.
Final goodbyes have been said to the Duke of Edinburgh, but the award which bears his name continues on, supporting young people to reach their full potential. Felicity Clifford, STV News.
Well, that's all for now. We'll be back again tomorrow. From everyone here on the Weekend team, do have a very good evening. Goodbye.